Namaste and welcome back to my podcast, Naya Yoga and the world. I'm really glad you're here with me today. And in the last episode, I shared why I stepped away for a while and why I'm coming back with a more self-reflected and grounded perspective. And today we begin exploring one of the topics that has been on my mind for a long time: the modern dopamine dilemma. So, let me explain. We live in a world of constant stimulation: social media, instant messaging and streaming, and the notifications, and everything is competing for our highest attention. And while these tools can connect and inspire us, they do, but they also deeply affect our minds, our bodies, and our whole well-being. So let's gently unpack this together now. What is exactly happening in our brains? So the dopamine is often called the so-called feel-good neurotransmitter. It's involved in motivation, reward, and anticipation. It does help us learn and pursue our goals, and helps also with experience pleasure, and that is good. But here's the key: dopamine isn't designed for constant spikes all day long. Every time we scroll, check our message, watch another episode of our favorite stuff, or even receive just a notification, the brain gets a small reward signal like a tick. And over time, our nervous system starts expecting these frequent hits of stimulation. That means we then always reach to our phone without even thinking of it, just expecting some pleasure. And if nothing happens, it starts feeling uncomfortable. And we just become harder to focus on our other stuff. And the stillness, if the phone is not doing anything, does become unfamiliar even for us. Because the brain adapts to these high stimulations all the time, it then begins to feel restless when the stimulation is low. And this isn't a personal failure. It is simple how our nervous system responds to its environment. And this does affect then our daily life. Because when this pattern continues, we often see ripple effects across our whole well-being. For example, stress and anxiety. The constant input keeps the mind activated all the time. There's only little space for processing or reflection or just resting. The nervous system stays slightly on alert all the time, and that can lead to tension and anxiety. And then we get sleep disturbances. The late night scrolling and streaming or messaging keeps our brains stimulated when they should be winding down. The blue light, the mental engagement, and the emotional input all interfere with the natural transition into rest. We lose our focus as well. These short bursts of digital stimulation train attention to jump quickly between inputs. A deep concentration, like reading, working, and listening, can then also begin to feel difficult or even exhausting, because we get also some inner restlessness. I've heard that many people describe that they're feeling weird. They feel tired, although they're on high alert. They are busy but yet unfulfilled. And this is often a sign that the mind has been overstimulated and not nourished. From an Ayurvedic perspective, because that's what we do. We talk about Ayurveda and the world. So the Ayurveda perspective, we see this as an aggravation of Vata, the dosha associated with movement, speed, and mental activity. And too much Vata, too much input, too much change, too much sensory stimulation will lead eventually to scattered thoughts. Then we get difficulty grounding, our sleep get disturbed, and we raise all this high nervous energy. And don't get me wrong, Ayurveda doesn't frame this as a modern moral problem, not at all, but it simply recognizes this imbalance because, in Ayurveda, it's all about the balance. It reminds us that the balance can be restored through awareness and gentle adjustments. I don't want you to reject any technology, but just start having a conscious relationship with it. So, today, I will invite you, like some homework maybe, just to observe, not judge, but observe your own patterns. Just notice, when do you reach for the phone? When do you reach for stimulation? And how do you feel afterward? Do you feel calmer or even more restless? Well, and then in the next episode, we'll explore practical small Ayurvedic tools to support our nervous system in this overstimulated world. Just with simple steps towards grounding, focus, and balance. So thank you very much for listening to my podcast, Ayurveda, Yoga, and the World. And I'm so grateful that you're here with me on this journey. Until next time, take care of yourself. Love and light.